do there. Peter, tell us about your Puerto Rican team.
Oh,
We haven't met since you
no,
coached
that's
those
right.
guys.
Coral, it was really, first off, it was really a great trip. I mean, it's funny I mean, we all tr have traveled all over, but what a small world it is because one of the officials who officiated my game is actually officiated my college games here up in Connecticut. He 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 had traveled, got hired and traveled down there. So that part was a small world. I got a good friend who was in. He's about an hour and a half away, I think, closer to Key West. So I got nothing to do. He drove an hour and a half to watch the team play one day, which was fun. And then I saw a young lady was walking in, complete hoodie and joggers with Post University, and she said, "I know you." And she used to play for the women at Post. So I mean, being a small world, it's crazy. As far as the hockey goes, the girls are getting better and better. We're beginning to add some Division 1 players to the roster, which is which is a big thing. Enough so that there's actually two teams at the women's level now, a Division 1 team, which will be hopefully someday be that top team that can compete with the Olympics, and then a Division 2 team with girls that can be maybe a feeder for that program. So that's moving on. I'm looking forward to doing some scouting this winter for them to see some of these girls. And now we can start to pick and choose a little bit about, hey, we do want this player, we don't want that player kind of thing. Like we decide who we want. And the tournament itself, we went 2-2. Um, Really one of the crazier tournaments I've ever been in, whereas we lost two games. We lost in the semifinals with a puck that went off the glass behind the net, came back, hit one of our defensemen in front, and literally fell onto the stick of the opponent on the on the back side, on the back door,
Oh,
on the weak
geez.
side. Just literally
Tap in.
fell right there, and she just pushed it in. And we lost another one with a puck coming off the bottom of the dasher, hitting someone and deflecting in. So, uh, but they played well. They're a stronger group than what we had in New Jersey back in May when I did that tournament. So, bright future, I think. I think it's going in the right direction.
Oh, that's kind of
Cool.
neat. Talking about this whole small hockey world, the guy I talked about with the motorcycle, he was with the Barcelona team in Finland. So they're sitting around having a beer, and one of the Finnish guys says, "Oh, you're from Calgary. Do you know Tom Malloy?" Says, "Oh yeah." So they phoned me from the bar in Finland to say hi.
That's funny.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's not many people living in Calgary, right? I mean, it's not like it's a big city. That's funny. That's a yeah, but that's a great thing about the sport. Like, you're gonna find somebody that you know, that you played with, that you know somebody who played with somebody who you know. I mean, it's amazing. That elite prospects has always been helpful for me because when I'm speaking with someone, I'm trying to make a connection. I always kind of look them up, and I'll tell you what, at least 80% of the time, you can find somebody that you know that maybe played with that individual.
I'll tell you a funny story about that is we went to watch the Yankees play in Minnesota when I was 17. So four of us went down there and we're in a campground. And these girls were talking to him. They said, "Well, Canada." I said, "I know someone from Canada." We said, "Well, Canada's a pretty big place." And she says, "Well, I was in a marching band at the Calgary Stampede. And one of these guys was in the band at this high school about 4 blocks from my house. He knew the person she was talking about." It's like out of our whole country.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing. But that's why you, again, like when you're in school, that's why you want to be part of things, right? You don't want to be your door, school door, back to your door. You want to be part of things. You
Yeah.
never know.
So when I was down in Argentina, photography deal, and I posted some photos, and this guy that's a Facebook friend of mine, he says, are you here? At the time I was in Buenos Aires. And I said, but I'm going down to Ushuaia. Ushuaia? I live there. And,
You go.
and he's a hockey player. That's why we were connected. And he said, where are you staying? And told him, he goes, I'll be there in 10 minutes. And he came over and chatted with me. And, and right now it's winter down there right now.
Yeah.
Oh, it's spring down there. But they play all outdoor hockey. There's only like one rink and it's up in Buenos Aires. It's indoors.
Well, there's one guy on my site that's from down there at the very bottom. He kind of runs hockey and wherever he is down there.
Yeah. And then when I don't know which thing in the IIHF coaching symposium, but I'm kind of thinking it was in Prague. And a guy comes up to me and he goes, I know you. My son learned to play defense on the video that you did on developing defensemen. That's I thought, well, that's cool. That's kind of fun. So
But was he any good?
I don't know.
Yeah.
He was from Italy.
Okay.
Italians they skate backwards pretty good. They don't go forward. Oh God.
That's
Hey
funny.
boys, I better go do something. This was fun. You cheered me up. I needed cheering
Yeah.
up.
Good.
Well, you keep recovering.
I will. So we'll catch up with you guys next week. Hey?
Sure, hell, look after
Yep.
yourself and get back to taking pictures again and catching a
Yep.
fish.
Yep. That's what I'm gonna do. So take care, boys.
Yeah,
Okay.
you too.
Yep, thank you. I can figure out how
Bye.
to turn this thing off.
I know. We just gotta find the leave. I think it's lower right on my
Yeah,
computer.
the lower right-hand corner says
The little
leave.
person walking through a door.
I'm leaving. Bye-bye.
So yeah, so it's interesting. Hal was talking about Buenos Aires. So the Olympic Committee is always trying to come up with different sports. I don't know, just trying, I guess, trying to keep up with society a little bit. So, and I didn't know this, but last Summer Olympics, when they had the Summer Olympics, they had a breakdancing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But now, hockey wise, they're they have a pilot program to do 3-on-3 tournament into the Olympics. And it's
Yeah.
got a whole different set of rules. You're not on a full sheet going 3-on-3. It's got different set of rules. The markings are different. And they're doing that uh, down in Buenos Aires in November. Coach asked me to go, but I'm not going to be able to make that because at that point I'm doing my broadcasting and I'm committed to the university to do that. But they're they're going to have a 3-on-3 women's tournament down there.
Well, that'd be neat.
Yeah.
The curling rinks that they turn into hockey rinks are the perfect size for 3-on-3.
And that might be it. I mean, I don't really know. I mean, it's
Yeah.
gotta be
There's
an
one
indoor
one
rink, right?
community they did that. They put boards around the curling rink and guys go play 3-on-3 there and they just love it. You know.
Yeah, because it's got to be an indoor rink right at that point. Because if it's spring
Yeah.
now, November, it'll be late spring, early
Yeah.
summer, maybe.
Yeah, they're totally back opposite us.
Yeah, and Argentina, I mean, like their team was really good. That tournament that we were in Florida, Argentina won the whole thing.
Yeah.
They get a good program. So it's growing in those very non-traditional hockey places.
Yeah. Well, I get some videos sometime from the Himalayas. They play there. And people are sitting in trees and everything watching the game. It's my friend Johanny was supposed to go there one time and India and Pakistan started having a war, so he didn't go.
Yeah, yeah. But all good.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
so
Yeah, I'm gonna
Glad you
scoot.
got on anyway. Haven't seen you for a long time.
No, I know. I appreciate that. It's good to see everybody for sure. And I'll hopefully next week should work, I think. Yeah, I think next week will work. And then after that'll be the week that we're starting our trip.
Yeah.
Peter, is there anybody in your circle of friends that would be a good person to bring on just to give us a different angle on anything?
I think if we could get the coach of the women's team on the women's Puerto Rican team on would be great. I can work on that. He's a pretty busy human being. He coaches that team. He's also an author. He also owns two different companies. One is a broadcast company where um, he's got an award-winning podcast that he does. And then he also has a company where he makes a type of hockey equipment. So he'll make pucks for outdoor use. He'll make
Oh,
protectors for your blades. He's a real entrepreneur. So if I can nail him down, I'll try to do that.
Well, work on that. It would be really interesting.
Yeah,
Not
I think
just
it'd be good.
the hockey, but what you said about his background and what he's doing. I just be
oh,
curious,
sorry.
how did he get to that point?
Yeah, yeah. He's interesting, driven, interesting guy.
This guy from Argentina, he makes his own sticks and stuff because
Oh,
it's
wow.
really hard to get stuff there.
Wooden sticks he makes, or
Matthew Meinsner is his name.
huh?
Hoping I can get his what the cities and but yeah.
Guys, I'm a little different than all of you. I got nothing to do all day, so I've been watching soccer, and the Canadian soccer team's done quite well. They won their first ever two games in Europe, beating Romania 3-0, and yesterday beating Wales 1-0. And during the game, ah, TSN, the TV channel, played a commercial, Carlsberg liquor. And we're talking hockey, and now you're talking all these countries around the world that play hockey. And in Canada right now, soccer, it's sort of it's something that more people are identifying with in this country. And the commercial, I'd like to share with you. I want to experiment with that technology of being able to share screen. So if you guys would bear with me.
Sure. Soccer's such an interesting sport because it's funny, right? If you look at the size of the net in soccer and the scores are typically so low,
Yeah.
I always found that fascinating. And basketball has about a 2 inch grace period around the size of the ball to the cylinder of the hoop, and it is the highest scoring game. So it's
Yeah.
interesting.
It is different. Like, not people can watch different sports. There's some people who hate curling. Some people love baseball. And because I have a son-in-law who's a soccer guy, I've gotten to watch lots of soccer and appreciate it. I guess my point is, um, sports is sort of the only thing that brings people together. And here you are, all of us have been around the world with the sport, but it's only been hockey. So I'm going to bring up this. Can you guys see my screen?
I see it.
I
Yeah.
can now.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to I'm just going to play with this. It's a commercial. I'm not sure how good the recording is, but we'll just play through it.
We're different. We share in the events while cheering on our motherlands and each other's lands. Soccer is in our hearts. Our roots are on display. Not to divide, but to unite. Because to us, soccer's more than just a game. It's who we are. Coast to coast to coast, it connects us all. Cheers to us. Cheers to the game.
Gatorade. Electrolytes to help replenish what's lost in sweat. The fly. Delivery.
Well, that's it. Did you hear it?
I did. Yeah, it was a little garbled, but I mean, I figured out what it was about. So let me ask you this: with you having, you said, a son-in-law that's involved with soccer,
Yep.
how does the soccer players get along with the hockey players? And the only reason I mention that is I don't know if you ever saw the video of, it's called The Difference Between Soccer and Hockey. And they show the soccer players, someone comes near them and they explode onto the ground and writhe around, right? Trying to draw, I guess, a yellow card. And then they show the video of Ovechkin's on the bench waiting for a shift. A puck comes, hits him in the side of the face. He essentially wrinkles his nose and gives his head a shake and then goes out for a shift.
Well, I think we're all part of the hockey toughness thing, and we took it to the extreme. It's like Bobby Bond broke his leg and finished the playoffs.
I've seen that video. That's an incredible video. And they're just talking about it so matter of factly, right? He says, "Yeah, right now they got me pretty numbed up. I can't feel my leg." Well, that's not good.
I think he scored the big goal too.
Yeah,
He wasn't
yeah,
a goal scorer,
crazy.
the defensive defenseman.
Yeah, crazy.
But
Well,
soccer, there's only one ref, so they try to work that, eh?
Yeah.
The guy catches the end of something, he doesn't see how it really.
you know,
We had an occurrence our last game. Our girl's racing, and at about the dot, I think she touched skates with the player she's racing with, and the ice was fairly fresh. And she goes into the boards, puts her hands up, and she's injured her wrist, and she hit her head too. And this ref at the other end said that their girl tripped her and hit her over the head with a stick. And
Wow.
I got one of the players to video that was sitting out, and the player did nothing. I don't even know if she knew that the girl hit her skate. So I got the clip and I sent it to their coach and I said, they want to suspend her, have them look at this.
Yeah, again, it looks different from different angles, right? I've had
Yeah.
that. I've sent in video after games and saying I don't understand why this is a penalty, or I don't understand why that isn't a penalty. And
And I think in soccer, they're hoping they'll catch the ref kind of catching the corner of their eye and then seeing something. And
throwing a card up because, well, I guess something must have happened.
yeah,
Tom, I'm assuming over the years, because you coach so many different sports, do you watch soccer?
I lived in Austria that one year and that's all that was on. So
Yeah.
I watched and, you know, it's a pretty tough sport. And I went to a few live games.
In terms of your question, Peter, this is my opinion. When I watch games with my son-in-law and I see a dive, which is often, it's part of the game. And it's sort of becoming part of the game in hockey, where you get embellishment calls. And in soccer, it's almost a part of the game that turns you off. But when you learn to accept it and realize, right or wrong, they're acting. They might be taken down, lost their balance, but exaggerating that contact. So it's no different in my mind than ice hockey, except it occurs a lot more frequently. But I think recently embellishment and calling double penalties, that's becoming pretty common now in hockey. What do you guys think?
Remember in the playoffs last year,
Yeah,
that guy got hit from behind, right into the boards face first, and he got a penalty for embellishment. And I can't remember which one. Go ahead, Peter.
yeah, no, I was just gonna say, I don't think they quite have it perfected yet as far as necessarily consistently making the proper call. Again, well, and Tom, to your point, you catch something out of the corner of your eye, and it might look a certain way. That I think they have, and I don't like the idea because I think it really slows down the game. But those types of penalties, they almost have to review them. You almost have to be able to, like, if you're a coach, have the ability to have the challenge and then have some sort of punitive um, result if you challenge and you're wrong. But I mean, that's really the only way I think to deal with something like that because you get face planted, which is bad enough, and then in the meantime, someone says, "Oh yeah, you also have a penalty." That's kind of tough. That can be kind of tough to take.
Yeah.
Well, I got a question for both of you. I'm watching baseball. You can see whether it's a ball or a strike. The camera, the showing of the cage, the batter's cage, the graphics. And I'm thinking, at what point do you need a referee or an umpire?
Yeah,
No, well, they
the
do that, but
umpire.
it takes a human element out of the game. I hate these reviews. I hate going to the games, and they take 5 minutes. I think they should have a 1 minute they can look at it because they get half a second in a game, right?
Yeah.
And it takes the flow out of the entire game.
Yeah,
So, I know what you're saying.
you have to have the umpire there too at home plate because of the plays at home plate, right? Are
Yeah.
they safe? Are they not? There's also some other things. If they judge a ball hit someone, things that you need the immediate kind of call with. But it's interesting, like because they use that, from what I understand, they use that when they evaluate the umpires at the end of the year. So depending upon how much the box agrees with you, I think impacts the level that you're able to play or not play, but to officiate come the playoffs.
Well, Peter, your original question was, what does a hockey player think of a soccer player? um, well, we're hockey players, and I now appreciate all sports. Like my sports were football, wrestling, and track. A number of years coaching those sports, and they're so different, but they're sports, and I have so much respect for despite the ups and downs of officiating and penalties or not penalties, taking dives or not. Um, I've just come to, okay, that's the nature of the soccer game. And it's part of the game. It doesn't bother me anymore, but it bothers the fans. It bothers my son in law. And quite often I hear about it after from my son in law. And just like Tom mentioned, the penalty that was called on his girl, he had the video and showed it to the other coach. It's that,
Oh no, it was on their girl. My girl's the one that got hurt.
okay. And
But I didn't want girl to get suspended for
no, but
something that
that's
never happened.
it's what I call integrity coaching. You're supporting, you realize the player, you want the right thing to come of it. And I think that's what we're talking about here is that sports teach you, you make mistakes, officials make mistakes, players
Yeah.
make mistakes, and
No, for sure. And I gotta tell you, with soccer too, just the things that those guys can do with a soccer ball, like, and
Unbelievable.
see a player can take a ball with their left foot, put it over their shoulder behind their head, pass to themselves on their right foot while they're moving. That's pretty impressive.
Oh yeah, they're unbelievable.
now I will say one thing about soccer. I don't believe women's soccer is into diving. I I've watched a lot of it, and they compete.
No, I agree with that because at the university when I was there, we always made a point to support other programs, and we weren't quite getting going yet with our team with practices when soccer was in full bloom. So we would make sure we'd go to the men's and the women's soccer games on campus. And you're 100% right. You don't see it. You don't see it, or at least you certainly don't see it to any degree where it seems so blatant compared to the men. But like you said, that's part of the game. And the interaction too, like I don't know what you see, but at least what I saw at the collegiate level, the interaction between the players and the officials, like it's incredible. Some of the stuff that goes on, I'm thinking that's a 2 and a 10 all day long in hockey, but again, seems to be part of the game in soccer where they're verbally, arguing with officials as the play is going on,
Well, like
or
basketball, the coaches running up and down, yelling at the ref all the time.
yeah, yeah. But to see the players doing it and it's completely accepted because the officials are interacting with them. I mean, it's got to get really bad before they give them a red card. It's just, again, why it's part of the game at certain levels.
When you've coached Peter, at whatever level, but I'm thinking college, and Tom, you've coached every level. Have you ever had a problem with players talking to officials, reacting to calls?
Have
I've
I?
had some, but not that many.
I've had it happen. I've never had a problem with it because honestly, as soon as it happens, the player becomes the one with the problem. He's got to deal with me dishing out the proper discipline because of what you just did. I had a rule that if you got a misconduct penalty for mouthing off to the referee, you were done for the game. And I did that at the college level. And sometimes it was one of your better guys, and it was hard to do and probably hard for some of the other players to take. However, watching them learn that that was the rule and self-policing, like guys actually skating up to that kid on the ice and just pulling him away immediately so that they didn't run their mouth and the kid could just keep playing, go to the box, serve your two, and just keep playing.
Yeah.
So it actually served a little bit of a purpose for me.
You
Well,
know,
that's a good idea. I got to get going too,
okay,
but I got to walk my dog before I.
guys, thanks very much. Anytime we get on, I could ask a sports question, a hockey question, and it leads to valuable stuff. So, Peter, thank you so much for coming on and work on that guest for us.
Yep, I will.
And Tom and Peter, I'm more interested in Peter in holy cow, how did he get into doing what he's doing, given what he's already got on his plate? Like, it's amazing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You
It's
know,
not a straight road. Very often, a lot of our careers are not straight roads. They would make really good motorcycle roads. They're pretty winding.
well, I think to all the coaches out there, thank you because their stories are the same. They're like Tom and I are fine, and you're fine. We're not doing it for a living anymore. We're doing it because we just love it and got nothing else to do. But you look at the volunteer coaches the time they put in, the jobs they've got, the commitment they've got. And yes, their kids are there, but as long as they're there for the right reason and
Yep,
holding
that's the
their kids
bottom line.
accountable and creating a team atmosphere, I'll be with them all the way. So
You got that right. No